Are you ready to perform at your highest potential? Welcome to the Performance Matters podcast from GP Strategies, your talent transformation partner. In each episode, we'll interview industry experts and explore best practices and innovative insights to help your organization improve performance. What are some of the future elements? I don't know if it's like gamification 3.0, but what's on the landscape here? So curious for you to feedback on that one.
Well, I'll kick off with the obvious one, which is AI.
What is AI?
It's a magical thing that makes games automatically. You just tell it what kind of game you want to make, and it will make you a game.
Perfect. Yes, send me the link to that one.
Yeah. I don't think that AI is going to get to that place anytime soon. But the really interesting AI thing I think in games is going to be AI-driven characters. So when we make narrative games, which is quite often, where the player has lots of choice about what they're going to say and how characters will reply to them, the scripts we end up making are hundreds and hundreds of pages long, and we spend a long time crafting perfect dialogue for every possible situation. Now, if AI can do some of that heavy lifting for us and can get to a place where a player can say something to a character that isn't even pre-scripted by us, they can say exactly what they want to say, and the character can respond intelligently to that, picking up on not just what they're saying, but how they're saying it, the tone of voice, and that sort of thing, then that is such a powerful place, such a powerful thing for us. So that's definitely coming soon, if not already in the commercial game space.
Wow, I like that, because you're right. When you think about writing branching scenarios and you're trying to, scheme for every possible thing, I mean, it's like creating a landmine field, right? You're never going to get them all right there. But if you could have the nuance, that sounds like a holy grail type opportunity to have AI maybe come in and potentially make some of these fluid in movement type elements there. So that's very cool. Emma, what else is out there that you're thinking?
Yeah,
sorry, I stepped on you, by the way.
I was just chiming in on AI. I think it's exactly that, right? That's where it's most exciting. It's the heavy lifting. It's not writing your stories for you necessarily, because you still have that human creativity, but it's how can it expand what we're able to do. And obviously GP has that broader AI strategy where we want to look at it in a way that's ethical and thoughtful, and trying to use it in the most productive and most valuable ways that we can. And I think it's obviously something that's developing very fast, so it's going to be exciting to keep an eye on. In terms of other things, I think it's an ever-evolving space. So AI is one of the ones that's really interesting for learning games because it has the potential to be used at a lot of different scales. So, for example, one of the other big things in gaming and technology generally has been virtual reality, right? That's been a buzzword for a long time. And it's something we have used and can be really exciting. But clearly that does tend to fall on the bigger budget end of the spectrum. In terms of use cases, I think AI is going to be really interesting because it's so varied in how it's going to be able to be used and what scale of project it might suit.
And something that the commercial game space has been doing forever that hasn't really translated into learning games at all yet is massive multiplayer games where you have tens, hundreds, thousands of people playing the game either synchronously, so at exactly the same time, or asynchronously, where it's displaced across time. I think there's so much power in that because you have... It gives you the ability for players to compete with each other, but also collaborate with each other, working together to solve big problems. There's something so interesting in that, and it's something that's quite rarely seen in a learning context from my experience.
And if you think how big a trend social learning has been in the kind of digital learning world for a long time now, combining that with games, I think, has the potential to be really powerful. And there's been a lot of kind of interesting experiments in the commercial gaming world with ways of doing that maybe have lower overheads or have different approaches to them, even things like combining a game with social media and encouraging people to use that in conjunction with the game. So I think there's a lot of very exciting things happening with that.
Sounds like there's a lot of cool things. in the coming years or months that are coming up. There might even be the ability to make custom like Fortnite-like dances when you've collaborated to help create an organizational strategy, perhaps. I don't know. Just thinking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the top of the pyramid.
Well, yeah, and of course, when you look at something like Roblox or some of the things that are happening, you know, maybe we'll be getting our users to make their own games, and that will be how they learn. So, you know, the possibilities are endless. Really.
The Performance Matters podcast is brought to you by GP Strategies. Together, we can create a world where business excellence makes possibilities achievable. You can subscribe to the show anywhere you get podcasts or listen on our website at gpstrategies.com.